Sweet. So, um, let's see. So we just got back from San Diego and from Boston, where we showed the film at two film festivals. San Diego, we were at the San Diego Asian American Film Festival. That was a really amazing experience. So they're in their 16th year now, and so it's becoming pretty established in the city. It's their biggest festival now, which is really cool. The programming's really great. It's led by some great people that really care about film, and yeah, we had a great audience. It was, yeah, full theater, a lot of gamers, which was cool. San Diego's a really healthy gaming scene, which was pretty awesome. And we met some people after the screening. We talked to people for a while after the screening who were nice enough to introduce themselves and talk about the film. So that was neat. Let's see. Anything else about San Diego?
I have confirmation that people can hear us.
Oh, good.
So we have to be very interesting.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Sorry, this is like the first time we've ever done anything like this. And we tested it earlier and it worked fine.
Yeah.
And then we did it and it didn't work for no apparent reason. Hi, Jason. I know you're out there driving and listening. Hope you're wearing your seatbelt. Maggie, thanks for joining us.
And Chris, thanks.
Chris, you're there too.
Uncle Denny.
Uncle Denny.
Uncle Denny.
Uncle Denny's in the house. Guys, do you know how to chat? Come on.
Yeah.
Let's get this chat going.
I feel like I'm on a radio show host. It's kind of cool.
I know. We're going to get the hang of this eventually.
So do you want to talk about Boston?
Yeah.
A little bit?
So when we premiered at Doc NYC, we met a filmmaker named Ursula Liang who made a really cool documentary called Nine Man. And she told us, she's from Boston, and she told us how awesome the Independent Film Festival was there. And she loved the movie when she saw it at Doc NYC. And so we asked her if she could send the movie The Lost Arcade over to her contacts at the festival. And Independent Film Festival watched it and invited us to screen. And it's a really cool independent fest, very grassroots. And we ended up premiering there on a Monday night at like 9:30 p.m. It was cold and rainy, so we had pretty low expectations for the screening and turnout, but the theater was packed, and it was a crazy Q&A afterwards. It was like really long and involved, and some really insightful questions.
Yeah.
Like one guy actually was the first person to notice that Chinatown Fair moved across the street, because he said at one point the building looked different than the building that showed up later, and I was like, you're the first person that's noticed that they're different buildings. So, and then in San Diego, somebody was the first person to notice a little Easter egg in the movie. I'm not going to give it away, but somebody noticed that a little hidden thing that we put in the movie, and since he noticed that, we told him we'd send him a shirt. So make sure we remember to do that.
Okay. Yes.
Still no chats. No questions either. Come on, guys.
Let's see. What else can we talk about?
How does it feel to be in this stage of the process of the movie?
It feels good. It's all like a journey, kind of. So that's how it feels. It just feels like I'm further along in the journey, I guess. And yeah, like it's kind of growing along and evolving with me. So that's interesting. It's just I guess it's become really personal. Um, yes. How about you, Kurt?
Yeah, I think this is like a whole new area, clearly, like, but to me it is really fun. I mean, it's the hard part was like the creation of the movie and figuring out the story and the actual filming and the logistics of that, and then editing. That stuff was hard. This part is easy, just
Mhm.
getting it out there. I mean, you definitely have to work really hard to get people to know about the movie and come to the screenings. That's like harder than I even thought it would be. Um, but it's fun. It's not hard.
Mhm.
It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think, yeah. I don't know. Let's see. So next.
Questions. So if you guys do the pop-up window of the stream, um, there's all these cool options for chat and questions, and we would love to
Yeah.
answer anything. Okay, so people are messaging saying they can't find the chat. So when you go to the event page and you press play, do the pop out. So there's going to be an arrow at the top of the window, and pop it out, and then that gives you all sorts of options to do stuff, and the chat will be there, the Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
At least it should. Google needs to simplify this. This is pretty complicated stuff. I thought it'd be easier.
Hmm.
So Jason Scott asked me earlier to talk about why we decided to spend 5 years of our life making this movie.
Hmm. I think it made sense for me personally as, um, I don't know. I mean,
Why?
I feel like it was a story that needed to be told, about a really amazing place in New York that meant a lot to so many people. And once we met the people inside the place that were, they felt so strongly about it leaving. That was honestly, what motivated me the most to say, hey, this is something important and we should pay attention to this and tell the story. Yeah. What do you think?
I have to think more about that. Diego, hey Diego, thanks for joining us. Diego asks, have you guys found any good old arcades in cities while touring with the movie?
Good question. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I mean, actually, no, not old ones. We found some new ones. In San
Oh.
Diego, there's a really cool place called Coin Op, and it's definitely a barcade, though. We're finding like barcades are everywhere. In
Yeah,
Rotterdam, there were
barcades.
barcades.
I think while filming, we found some really cool old school arcades. There was Rack and Roll. Is that what
Yeah,
it's
Rock
called?
and
Rack
Roll
and
in
Roll.
Passaic, New Jersey.
Yeah, Passaic, New Jersey. Shout out. Also, Silver Ball Museum in
Jersey Shore, Asbury Park.
Asbury Park. That place is amazing.
And then this really awesome spot called Eight on the Break.
Oh, yeah, Eat on the Break is sweet.
Yeah.
Also in Jersey.
Yes, and then Fun Spot in New Hampshire.
Fun Spot in New Hampshire.
Which I'm sure
Legendary.
everybody
Yeah.
knows about that from its appearance in King of Kong.
Yeah. Those. I'm trying to think.
Has everyone figured out how to get to the question and answer thing on this window? I wanna. Has everyone figured out how to? Oh boy.
Let's
No.
think.
No question. No.
Okay, let's
What about the group chat? Maggie, were you able to figure it out?
um
I think this is really cool if we just figure out all the kinks and smooth this out.
yeah, this was pretty sweet. Being broadcast.
Oh, okay. We have a question and comment from Chris coming our way.
Oh.
All right, Chris,
Is
go
this
ahead.
Chris in Chicago?
I think this is Chris in Chicago.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chris.
Let's see here.
Thank you. Thank you, Maggie. So is this Maggie or is this Chris? Well, I guess this is Maggie. So we appreciate the congratulations. Secondly, is it difficult to let go of the pursuit of the story? Do you find yourself wanting to continue with it? Yeah, at times. I think so.
You think?
Yeah, I think so I think there's certain elements of the story that didn't make the final cut, and they were really interesting elements. Specifically, some of the different people's stories and characters that just aren't in the movie, as well as this whole community of LGBTQT, lesbian, bi, queer, transgender. Is that right? Yeah, that whole community, the whole story about that, like the gay community just didn't make it in the movie. And it was a pretty amazing aspect of Chinatown Fair, and I wish we had been able to fit that in. So, I mean, I feel like every time I see the movie, I kind of see like parts that we missed, and that bums me out. But at the same time, you have to just accept it. I think there's also a lot of stuff that didn't make the movie that will like be extended footage. Like we'll put it on the website or put it on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, there were some juicy stories, some juicy Chinatown Fair stories. Some violent,
Yeah.
some sexy. Okay, no, not really.
No.
No sexy ones.
But violent, yes.
Yeah, there's some fight stories, some good fight stories. There's a story about, a husband and wife meeting there, which was really neat. They're still together.
Shout out to Norman and Liz Burgess.
Yeah, Harlem Hero. Yeah. Some.
Yeah, and I also like, since it is a documentary about real people and real places, like their stories continue to change, and I think like everybody at the screenings, like somebody always inevitably asks, how is Chinatown Fair doing now? How is Next Level doing now? And so those are really great questions, and they still go on, and unfortunately the movie can't keep going on. But I'm interested, like if any of you guys that have seen the movie already or watched the 40-minute preview, what were you expecting when you donated the Kickstarter or read about it, and then finally get to see this thing? And also, how does it feel to have been an important part of the process in creating this? Because it wouldn't have been done without the Kickstarter.
Do I see? Is there a comment? Oh no, firstly.
So thank you for that question and comment, Chris.
Thank you. Yes, and I'd like to reiterate, thank you so much to our Kickstarter backers. I know how much it means. It means a lot to support artists and filmmakers because, it's really hard to make a film. And we could have done it without you guys, without your support. And we had some Kickstarter supporters come to our screenings, which was really amazing to actually meet supporters in person, people that we just knew through Kickstarter. So that was really cool. People that introduced themselves after the film and got to talk to them. That was good.
Yeah, sharing this movie has been so fun. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like it's made all the hard work worth it to see
That's
people
true.
respond to it and come up to us and thank us and um, say that thanking us for making a movie that like um, I guess shows people a part of their own history, and not people necessarily that like grew up in Chinatown Fair, but people that had similar experiences in their hometowns, whether it be arcades or other subcultures. Like in San Diego, we met a great guy who grew up in arcades, but also was like really involved in the anime community and felt a lot of similar feelings about that, and just really connected with the community as it was portrayed in the movie. Um, so yeah, so our plan right now is to we've decided, we got some really great responses after showing the movie in Rotterdam and at Doc NYC, and we had some meetings with distributors who were interested in releasing the movie, and we got a few offers, and we had to turn them down because none of the offers felt right for us. And so we're going the route of self-releasing, and so that's going to see us putting the movie out ourselves. And hopefully it'll be on Netflix, and it'll definitely be on iTunes and Vimeo and Amazon, pretty much everywhere that you can buy a movie online. It'll be there, as well as DVDs and Blu-rays. And then um, we're hoping to do a big screening tour through the month of July and August, and we're opening theatrically in New York the second or third week of August. And then, so that means we're going to do like a solid week in New York, potentially 2 weeks, and maybe a couple other cities. And so we're putting the screening tour. We're going to hit a lot of different places. And if any of you guys want to request a screening, shoot us an email, message us, follow us on Facebook.
Yes, follow us on Facebook because that's the best way to keep updated with all the things going on with the film. And that's www.facebook.com/arcade movie. And yeah, definitely follow us there because we post there the most. And it's, up to date. It has all our events there, pictures, all that good stuff.
I think we should live stream all of our Q&As at screenings.
That's a good idea. I'm just going to start live streaming.
Yeah.
Regularly.
People use that app called Periscope. Maybe that's better. Because this is proving to be very complicated for people. Like, I wish I could tell who else is watching, because I see the number of people, but I don't see the names. I swear before we could see.
Yeah, I think on my phone I could see who else was in the Hangouts.
Confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's a way of.
I'm gonna take a photograph.
So confusing. Yeah, so right now we have in the books, we're doing a screening in Houston in June, and we're doing Santa Cruz on June 2nd. All right, good picture.
Yeah, Santa Cruz. Let's see here. It's okay. Okay, hold on here.
Trying to see if there's any other questions coming in.
Okay.
Diego, are you still there? See, I'm getting questions, but it's like comments on my event page.
Hmm.
See, so I'm not seeing. But Ryan,
Oh, I'm getting them
thank you
too.
for joining us. I just got your question. Um, was there Ryan asks, was there a reason for the change in the title slash name of the movie?
Oh, good
Um,
question.
what? Yeah, there was a reason. Part of it was the logistics of search engine optimization. Um,
No way. It was a way better story than that.
no,
Wasn't it
but
something
that's
like,
part of it.
okay, wasn't there a crazy story or something where
Well,
it
it
was like,
was
it just like, you know,
what?
what happened?
No, I think we were just thinking like, okay, so we lived with the title Arcade for like 4 years, five
Yeah.
years,
Mhm.
and then um, our friend Jason Scott is also making a documentary called Arcade,
Yeah.
and so I was a little concerned about in the future, like having there be two movies called Arcade, and then secondly, if you Google Arcade, I mean, there's so much that comes up, and so then we were talking about doing The Last Arcade. Because it's sort of reminisces like I mean it recalls two of my favorite movies. Well, one of my favorite movies, the Last Waltz, the Scorsese documentary about the last performance by the band, and I loved that. And so for a while it was going to be The Last Arcade. That also kind of pays homage to The Last Picture Show, the Bogdanovich film. Um, but then one day, like I think I like misspell it. I spelled it The Lost Arcade, and I
There
saw
was
that,
like some story. I kind
and
of don't remember, but we were like one night we're like the Lost Arcade.
yeah, so I
We were like that's
misspelled it,
way better.
and we were like, "That's so cool." And I
That's
like The
funny.
Lost Arcade because it's sort of has a double meaning. Like The Lost Arcade, in the macro sense, like the culture of the arcade is sort of disappearing, and it's also describing Chinatown Fair as
Mm.
being lost
And it's yeah.
and something that can be found. So. I just thought that kind of oh, and the fact that Chinatown that Henry opens Next Level, and I consider that an arcade. So it's not about the last arcade; it's about the lost arcade.
Yes.
We're gonna sell some of these.
Yeah. I have one too. Somewhere.
Awesome. That's a good question, Ryan.
Yeah. Great question.
Now I want to know why none of these questions are showing up,
Hmm.
or why none of you guys are asking us these questions in the Google app.
Mm. Oh wait, Nancy wants to know if you and Irene have a favorite game, and somebody asked us this uh, at our Boston screening.
Yeah,
No, at
San
San
Diego.
Diego, yeah. And my favorite arcade game is Galaga. It's one person, not very competitive that way. Very simple. And
It's
I like to,
classic.
it's classic. I like that. I like Bubble Bobble. That's a really great game. Love Bubble Bobble. Um, yeah, that's what comes to mind for me. You, Kurt?
My favorite arcade game would be different race games.
Oh yeah.
Some of the classics: Pole
Okay.
Position, Cruising USA, Cruising World.
Yeah.
I also have become a fan of Initial D, the racing game from Japan. They have that at Chinatown Fair now. It's a really awesome game. And then my favorite video game of all time is probably GoldenEye for N64.
Oh, I like music games too. Yeah.
Like what?
They have that one at Chinatown Fair. I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm not gonna try to explain it. It's really cool though. I don't know.
Um,
Thank you, Nancy from Columbus, for that question. That was a
okay,
good
we have another
question.
question. How did you immerse yourself slash get accepted into the arcade crew? Did you beat him in Street Fighter? No. Um, I only tried to play them in Street Fighter once or twice, and every time I lost within like 30 seconds. These guys are masters. They're like the best in the world, and I'm like the worst. It was fun though. They'd give me tips, and I would like practice by myself, but I'm horrible. I think just hanging out and just we only spent time and filmed the people that we connected with on a personal level. So, we ended up focusing the movie on people that were our friends.
And we hung out a lot. There was a lot of hanging out and getting to know people in the community.
Yeah. With and without a camera.
Yeah, so there was a lot of hanging out.
Yeah, that was actually probably the best part of this movie, was just getting to spend time with like a lot of amazing people in a completely different setting than we'd ever been a part of. It was like because we were filmmakers, we were given entrance into a really tight-knit community. And I don't know, we kind of like cheated our way in and formed some really amazing relationships with the people. So it took time though, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Great question.
Thank you. Good question. Let's see here. Anyway.
Diego, do you have anything else you want to comment? I feel like Ryan, what about you?
Let's see here. This is fun.
Yeah.
I like this.
We'll definitely do this again, and we're going to learn more about this and make it more seamless.
Yes.
Well, do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if there's no more questions. Anyway, this was fun. I strangely enjoy it. And I look forward to doing it again. And yes.
Yeah, let's do this like once every couple weeks, once a month maybe.
Yeah.
Once or twice a
I
month.
kind of like it.
And we can have special guests. We can do interviews with people from the movie.
That's a good idea.
I'm sure we can get Jason Scott involved.
Jason Scott.
I love to talk to him.
Lonnie.
Lonnie would love to do it.
Lonnie would do it.
We're getting some messages. Ryan asked a question.
I think that's
58.
laggy.
Is there another question?
I think there's a 7-second delay on this.
Maybe we'll do one more question.
Let's see here. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's a good question. You want to read it?
Okay, so this is from Ryan Vincent in Columbus, Ohio. Would you use Kickstarter or another crowdfunding site to make another movie? This is my only experience with crowdfunding, so I don't know.
Yeah, if the project, if I felt like the subject of the film, whether it be narrative or documentary narrative, fiction or nonfiction, if that film subject had like a really big or really dedicated community or following, I think crowdfunding I would definitely consider. Because I mean, if you can avoid going to investors like getting corporate money or having to bring in advertising money, I think it's a much cooler way to make the film with the group of people that really love the subject or love the topic of the movie. And it's like I don't know, it's a really cool feeling to be able to like make something for people that really love it and want it, as opposed to just somebody that's trying to make money off of it through advertising or something else. So yeah, I think the Kickstarter has been really positive. I think I would approach it differently with what I've learned in terms of what like for how basically be very specific in terms of expectations and delivery of items and stuff like that. But yeah, it's an amazing tool, and I recommend it for anyone if the project's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question, Brian. Yeah. So anyway, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
We'll do this again soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye.